those things out. And quite frankly, that's one of the purposes of these regional meetings and forums that we host. We want to be able to tell you what's going on in Charleston, and not what just maybe a local delegate or politician is telling you that's going on. But I got to stop myself right there. I mean, you guys got one of the best core groups of representatives that you'll find anywhere in the state. You really do with the core team that you have. I make that statement in other parts of the state where you typically have a lot of not necessarily pro-business type candidates, but a lot of individuals with other interests that like to attend Chamber of Commerce meeting and tell them about all the business legislation that they sponsored and voted for. And those of us that know those individuals a little closer, a little more personally, realize that some of that's just shallow talk when they get before the Chamber of Commerce. If you do, you have a stellar group, and I'm not sure there's any other delegation in the state that is as conservative and pro-business as what you have here. So we like to be able to tell it the way it is in Charleston. We like to be able to highlight a lot of the positive changes and a lot of things that are going on. We also want to become a little more engaged as a statewide business group with some of our more prominent local groups, such as the chambers that you have working on your behalf right here. We want to learn of your challenges. We want to learn of your opportunities so that we can incorporate those interests within our annual legislative programs and priorities. DIC is somewhat of an umbrella group. We represent about 60, 70 businesses around the state. Primarily, all the state major trade associations belong and are members of DIC. That's the auto dealers, the retailers, the oil and gas association, the manufacturers, the coal association, and the list goes on and on and on. All told, we account for about 400,000 workers across some 26 different business and industry categories. Many of the members of DIC are in this room. These are the go-getters, these are the game changers, the change agents, as some are referred to. And they represent the eyes, ears, and face of the business community up around the Capitol and before all of our legislative proceedings. They're the association executives who come together to get the job done. We call ourselves the job creators. We go by, we want to move West Virginia forward. We're as concerned about education programs as we are workplace training and the drug epidemic that we have in the state. So we have a well-rounded portfolio of members and legislative goals, and I tell you, it's just so exciting, just so good to be here in Bluefield, West Virginia. We don't come down enough, and we invite you to come to Charleston more often. We invite you, as we will throughout the day, to become more of a partner with us as we work within this whole mysterious area of public policy and within the halls of the state Capitol building. We hope to forge a relationship with you. Part of our unstated objectives is to try to get the business community around the state to become more involved with state legislative affairs and with the legislature and with the election process. There's a direct correlation between, if you want good legislation, you better have good legislators that are elected on election day. The two go hand in hand. And we feel very, very fortunate right now that we got a lot of things going our way. We've got just solid legislative leaders that are selecting committee chairmen, selecting committee members, selecting what goes on with the various committee and legislative agendas. And we also have a governor that's very committed to moving the state forward, and he's working very close with our legislative leaders. It's a real welcome change from the way the work was going on and the way that Charleston operated years ago. I've been, like a lot of members of DIC, been up around the Capitol for a little longer than 30 years. And I tell you, the successes that we have seen since the Republican Party has taken over state politics and the West Virginia legislature is just absolutely mind-boggling, and it's just extremely positive, very unprecedented. You know, when you think about all of a sudden our little state of West Virginia is also being known and recognized as having an exceptional business climate, having a very friendly portfolio of business law and regulation. That's astonishing to think of all the struggles and challenges we were enduring just a few years ago. So that's a little bit of a backdrop, hopefully sets the stage for our core speakers. At this time, I'd like to recognize Josh and Klein to come to the podium and make a few remarks. Josh is
on behalf of the folks in Mercer County, we just want to say thank you all for being here. The West Virginia Business and Industry Council is a great partner, not only for the chambers, but really for the people of West Virginia. There's a lot of great work, as Chris was highlighting, that's been done. We're really thankful for you all coming and visiting us. As Chris said, we like to come to Charleston, we like to hear you all, but I hope that I can provide a little bit of information on what's going on at the local level, because I think that's important. It's got to work from the ground up as well as the top down for us all to be successful. Chris highlighted a little bit that we have a chamber merger in the works. This has been going on since the 1970s, and I'd like to highlight my two chairs. I have Rebecca Ritter and Jason Reed in the back. If you all want to wave your hands, I really appreciate their leadership. Been a big part of making this happen. It takes strong leaders to make things happen, to really set a course and not shy away from it, even when it's uncomfortable. And so we're really excited because a lot of that infighting that has plagued Mercer County and our reputation is really fading away. We're really starting to step into our own. We have some great new individuals on board, and most of you all know John O'Neill. He's starting up as our new Economic Development Director of Mercer County, and we're really excited to have him on board and to really help tie together some of the projects that are going on. Each community has a great set of projects going. If you look at Bluefield, this is one of them. You're sitting in the former City Hall. This is their old City Hall building. It's a great location for events and different things, but this has come from strong leaders. Again, people in the community that have come together. You're seeing that across the city of Bluefield in projects that are taking place. High levels of demolitions, setting the right business environment. We have a dirty workspace that's getting set up for entrepreneurs that was courtesy of the Power Grant. And if you'd like to talk a little bit more about that, I'd love to see you. Come on in, Jim. As he was coming on, to say Jim Spencer is our Economic Development Director in the city of Bluefield and was responsible for that project. It's a great way to really encourage entrepreneurs from our local colleges and other partners to see how they can really take their product and really get it introduced into the business workspace, or to help current folks expand what they're operating on as well. In the city of Princeton, if you haven't been down Mercer Street, I encourage you to take a ride on Mercer Street before you head home. Again, setting the great local flair and the right quality of life environment has been critical to us really getting our house in order to really begin to expand what we're doing in welcoming business. There's a great new brewery called the Sophisticated Ale. I recommend their beers highly. I love them myself, so do stop by and take a look at that while you're in town as well. Looking at Athens, Concord universities continue to do great things, as is Bluefield State, and why they have Dr. Kratz in here as well. If you haven't heard about what's going on at Bluefield State, there's some great programs through robotics and engineering. Our bridge building competition team took a first place award away this year, and is really doing outstanding things. So I say all this to say there's a lot of great things happening in Mercer County, and I think what the joy of merging these two chambers is we're really going to say with one resounding voice, here's what's going right in your area. Come and take a look and invest a little bit more. And I would be remiss, and I think Mr. Rainey would be upset if I didn't mention the Bluefield Coal Show. It's still one of our strongest pieces and components that we do through our local Chamber of Commerce. And we're really excited that in 2019 we'll be holding a coal show again. And that's important to say. That's an important way for businesses to be able to meet with one another and be able to expand. And so I'm not the reason that you all came to Bluefield and want to hear things. I think this gentleman that just walked in is. So I'm going to turn it back over to Chris and just say thank you for being in Mercer County. If you don't know more about what's going on, ask anybody in the room. If the board members and staff members from the chamber will raise their hand that are here. Any of these folks can tell you about what's going on in Mercer County. And there's a lot of good news stories, and we hope that you'll take a look a little bit closer at what's happening. So thank you all for being in Mercer County. We really appreciate you being here and hope you've enjoyed your hospitality. Thank you.
Okay, looks like our first speaker arrived right on cue. Governor, good afternoon. Thanks so much for putting us on your busy schedule. I'm sure everybody knows the governor. He's the state's 36th governor. Born in Charleston, grew up in Raleigh County. He attended the University of Tennessee on an athletic scholarship, soon transferred to Marshall, where he captained the golf team for a couple of years there. He earned his undergraduate degree and MBA at Marshall as well. Now, I could go on and on, but the last time I introduced the governor, went a little longer, in about 30 seconds, he jerked me off of the stage and grabbed the mic. So I'm simply going to say that, as you probably also know, he's half miner, half farmer, and he's also a very successful entrepreneur. He's also half Republican, half Democrat, but he's truly a centrist. He wants, as he has throughout his coaching career, he truly believes the best that all of us have to offer and blends that together in every single thing he's done. He's devoted his adult life for youth sports and girls basketball, boys basketball, predominantly around Beckfield and southern West Virginia. And I think we would all concur that since he's took the helm of the state, as governor of the great state, that things began to turn around immediately. Now, he's had a lot of help from our legislature, but the fact of the matter is, you know, if we were sitting here and had a very high unemployment rate and we were all distressed over the economy, we would all be giving him heck. But things did begin to turn around immediately about 16, 18 months ago. And I think it's fair to say that, you know, for the first time in the history of this state, that we have more jobs than what we have qualified applicants out there. We are seeing a lot of new jobs open up, thanks to the road bond and some of the other measures that were implemented by the governor. We're seeing a lot of new businesses come in the state. We're seeing existing businesses expand, and we truly are recognizing the state as having an excellent business environment. And with all that, I think it's fair to say that the governor's played an important role. His leadership has helped guide us there. And with that, I'm going to just thank the governor, welcome him to the podium, and turn things over. Governor Jim Justice.
Did you leave these two tables here? Yeah, so I don't have enough to eat. Let me just sit here where I can talk with you, and that's make it a little easier on me, and I hope easier on you. First of all, I see Speaker Armstead, President Carmichael, my Chief of Staff Mike Hall. I don't know who all else is here. I appreciate Chris's kind words. There's Bill Rainey, how good dog. Good to see you, honey. Let me just say this. One thing we need to clarify for sure. You know, I'm not half Republican and half Democrat. I am 100% Republican at this point in time in my life, and completely devoted to the Republican Party at this time. I would dare say, though, just this. I think what we need to be, more than anything, we don't need to be Republicans, and we don't need to be Democrats. We need to be West Virginians. I have said it until I'm blue-green. I don't really care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. You know, some of the philosophies of the Democrats drove me completely crazy, you know, but nevertheless, the net of the whole thing is just this. We have so many people on the outside that have thrown so many rocks for so long at us, we really don't need to continue to be throwing rocks at one another. Now, the other thing that Chris said, which was really amazing, is just this, is there has been a lot of help, and there's been a lot of help from, you know, the two great people that I just mentioned here in the legislature, and there's been a lot of help as we have progressed forward in the last 18 months. And I'm going to read you some of those things in just a second, you know, I made actually just told Pam as I was on the way over here and everything, and she wrote down. But Chris also said, if things had been bad in the last 18 months since I took office, you know people would be giving him heck all the time. And I thought to myself, damn, you know, really? I mean, that's all people are doing now. I mean, I don't know how in the world it can get any worse, you know. So I would tell you, this life as a politician has been very unique, very, very unique. You know, West Virginia, you're going to really be surprised by some of the things I say. A lot of times people are. But let me just tell you this. West Virginia is moving with a miracle, honestly, a miracle from God. You know, that's all there is to it. You know, it is so good that none of us could have possibly fathomed, if we just tell the truth, just how good it is. But yet, there's a lot, whether they be in the media, or whether they be politicians, or whether they be someone that's trying to, you know, run like crazy to maybe obtain some office, or whatever it may be. There's a lot of people that are still in the wilderness that are beating us down within our own wilderness. And what they do, and what has happened for so long, if you'll just really dial into what I'm saying. We as a peoples in West Virginia have been conditioned to know our place, to know that we should be dead last. And maybe we're in a contest all the time to some way beat out Mississippi to see who's 49th. We in West Virginia have been conditioned, pushed down. Well, I don't believe that. And if you don't believe that, you're wrong. Just plain wrong. The perfect example of what I'm telling you is just this. Is if you look at what's been accomplished in the last 18 months, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's all there is to it. Now, I wrote a few things down, but I want to just read you just a couple things here. Pam, have you got any glasses close by? 200 works great with me.
Works great with me too.
Now I'm going to look really intelligent here because I got these glasses. I'm going to look like I really got mine together. Oh, I've got mine. Yeah, I do. I just picked this up as I was leaving the house. Now think about this. When I walked in the door, this is what was shoved right in front of me. This is the 6-year financial plan that we make all the time. Now, you know, Tim knows, Mitch knows, everybody knows, this is your Bible. This is what you go by. In the year that we were in, and halfway there, in that year, it's January now when I roll into town. Our year end is July. So the year we're in is supposed to be a balanced budget by Constitution. I mean, we've got to be in a balanced budget and everything. Well, what they shove in front of me says, uh-oh, we got a real problem. What we thought was going to be balanced is going to be 219 million short by July. So you got a real problem, Governor. And I said, well, what are we going to do? I mean, is there a place we can take money out of to be able to handle that? And it was, well, not really, because we've taken so much low-hanging fruit away and money out of rainy day and everything else that we're at a point in time where our bonds are being derated, and what are we going to do? Now, then the 6-year plan reads this. It reads, the first year, Governor, that you roll out your budget the way we look at it, you're going to be 497 million short. The next year, 598 short. The next year, 626 short. 678 the next, and 772 the next. Now those are cumulative. They're not just 500 and then 600, so you add on 100. They're 500 and 600 more. Now you're at $1,000,000,001, and then there's 700 more. Now you're at $1,000,008. We were so bankrupt, it was off the chart. Now, I don't mean kind of bankrupt. I mean totally dead bankrupt. Now, anybody that says anything different is absolutely not telling you the truth. So we had to push the right buttons at the right time to really, really get things moving. Now, from that time to now, I'm going to make you feel good now. From then to now, just think about this. We passed a budget in 60 days, something that these great men did that was tough doing, without going to a special session and wallowing around forever and a day and costing us money and all that. Now, we absolutely changed the entire footprint of education, not the 5% pay raise, but the whole footprint of education has been changed. We got rid of the A through F testing that was just plaguing our schools. I mean, imagine, and again, I know many of you know this, but I want you to hear it again, or I want you, if you don't know this, to know it. We had a system in place on a bell curve. You know what that is? That basically said, we're going to grade the school. And some schools got A's, a few, and some schools got S, a few, and the big bell curve in the middle all got C's. And so basically what we were doing is going out to the world and saying, come to West Virginia, most of our schools are C's. Well, I mean, that was just ridiculous. All this testing and testing and testing that we were doing to the kids, and frankly, teaching the test a lot of times is all we were doing. It was just a total waste. All the agencies on top of agencies, and no control at the local level, and all the control in Charleston, all that's gone. All that's gone. So the footprint has surely changed. Now, the 5% situation is this, and I'm not going to belabor every one of these things. Yesterday, we gave $3 million to the Yeager Airport. They had matching dollars, not matching, but they had Fed dollars with another $27 million. They're going to do $30 million in renovations to that airport down there, and it'll bring air traffic in here, an economic boom, 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 boom. Where did the $3 million come from? Where did the 5% come from? If we had had the numbers that I just read you, we would have had nobody even think of asking to be able to give a pay raise to the teachers or a pay raise to all the government employees or Yeager Airport. We would have never been able to have done anything. So basically the bottom line is just this. Prosperity brings you opportunities to do stuff. You've got to have prosperity or success in business or success success in government before you can do anything. It's nice to talk about what you'd like to do, but when you can't do anything, you do what we've done for 6 consecutive years before I got there, and before a lot of these great things that these great people out here did kicked in, and that is just cut budget, cut budget, cut budget, 6 straight years. More people left West Virginia. That's all there is to it. And when more people leave, revenue goes even further down. This year that we just concluded, has the record highest revenue in the state's history. Now, think about it. You'll be able to drive out there on the turnpike instead of going 222 on the way to Charleston and 222 on the way back. Every time you go, you'll be able to go for a whole year for $8. The drug situation is better. We got a long way to go, but it's better. And you know why it's better? Because there's hope. I'll tell you how it's better. I know when my son announces that he has 2 jobs, if we would have done this 2 years ago, we would have had 10 applicants that would have been qualified and sent them to get a test, and 1 or 2 would have passed. Today, when we send 10 applicants to get a drug test, honestly, 6 or 7 of them pass. It's still not great, but it's one way a lot better. There's something happening. That's what I'm trying to say to you. There's something real that has happened. Now, our bond ratings have gone back to stable. Tourism is beginning to explode. I just met with the tourism people again yesterday, and our new tourism campaign is really working. The numbers are showing all over the place. It's not only just working, it is working terrifically. The situation, whether you are for marijuana or against marijuana, that is for your own doing. But in my world, this is all there's to it. I would tell you that I have, and I would say this, and I say this with all conviction. I grew up in the 60s and Woodstock and everything else was going on, and I am a perfect candidate to have tried things or whatever, but I can tell you if God above was standing right here and said, Jim Justice, I will send you to hell if you tell anything but the gospel fact right now. And that is just this. I've never tried a drug. I've never smoked a cigarette. I don't drink. I absolutely have never tried marijuana. Never in my life. But I will tell you, I'm adamantly against any type of recreational marijuana, but I truly do believe in my heart that there are people that are suffering, and if medical marijuana would help them, I'd be in favor. Now, we have made incredible movement and incredible improvements with corrections. Now, the last 2 things are coal is back. Our jobs are back. Can they be more? Of course they can be more. You're talking to a little skinny guy here that rolled into the Oval Office and presented a plan to Donald Trump that was as way out could be. Now, it hasn't quite been implemented yet, but the plan was basically this. If the eastern coal fields die, and they could, with $30 coal, they could, and if they die and the deep mines flood and all the surface mines are reclaimed, and our nation's eastern power grid is solely dependent upon gas and western coal, and that's where we're going. I proposed to him just this because I didn't know any other way to help our coal miners here. I said, President Trump, what happens if that happens? And he said, well, you're just really being priced out of the market, right? And I said, no question. I said, what is it? What happens if that happens? He said, what do you mean? Now, there's just he and I in the Oval Office, and I leaned across the desk because he's a guy at times who can bounce all over the world, and literally, and I thought, he's a friend. And I grabbed him by his shoulders and I said, Donald, you have to focus and listen to me right now. And then I thought to myself, are you crazy, Justice? I mean, are you crazy? And then I said to him, what if I were to put a bomb, if we became solely dependent upon Western coal and gas in the Eastern power grid, what if I were to put a bomb at a junction point of all the gas lines, or a few of the gas lines, and a bomb at the bridge coming from the west? What would happen in the east? And he looked at me and said several bad words, and then he said, I get it. I really get it. My proposal was a Homeland Security incentive payment to the Eastern Power utilities, that for every ton of coal that they buy from Northern App and Central App coal, they get a subsidy payment in order to preserve our eastern coal fields, because if that were to happen, you would lose millions of people. Millions would die. The stock market would go down 12,000 points tomorrow if that happened, because it would take months and months and months to put it back online. Sure, we could export coal, bring coal around in the barge and everything. We could some way, somehow, maybe patch ourselves and get ourselves going, but it would be catastrophic. The bottom line of the whole thing is we can't afford in any way to take a chance this day and time to lose the Eastern coal field. And he bought it, and they're doing it. Now, we are moving. There's one other idea that I've got in front of him, and that is just this, and that is an idea that I brought out in the campaign, and that is a way to bring furniture manufacturing and all that back right into southern West Virginia, right into Elkins. And what we've got to do is we've got to be able to spin our hardwood value into the fact that you know that our hardwoods in West Virginia clean up an equivalent of 21 coal-fired power plants in this country every year. Did you know that? Did you know that when a tree is cut, that the carbon that goes into the atmosphere and everything is tied up right in this that I'm sitting on? And believe me, this is strong. Now, I say that only to be teasing. But we cut in West Virginia a third of our growth. Our trees fall down faster, 3 times faster than we're cutting them. Our canopy is there, and our canopy is sucking up all this nasty carbon that I've said over and over that George Clooney is sitting on his back porch in Beverly Hills and cussing how bad and dark and dingy and backward and everything West Virginia is. And I love his movies, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, he can't see across the street because of the smog. And as the smog goes up in the air and it floats over us, we clean his garbage up. We need to derive a benefit from that. And if we could spin it the right way, to where that subsidy basically subsidizes our labor to whatever contribution that a state made towards that environmental subsidy, we could bring manufacturing right out of China, Vietnam, and Mexico right back to us. There's lots and lots of goodness happening in West Virginia. And I am telling you, the thing that is the most amazing to me of all is whether it be politicians that are scrambling for an office, or whether it be the media that's just looking for the next story, or whatever it may be, it's really difficult for me to understand how all of us should not be standing on the top of the tables celebrating the successes of what has already been accomplished. 18 months. I said when I took office I could only see 10 months. 10 months a lot happened. 8 more months a lot more's happened. In the next years, I hope more and more and more goodness will come. We're going, and you mark it down, here's another prediction for you. I told you before in the campaign that severance taxes would rise, and they did. But I'm going to tell you just this. In not long from right now, West Virginia is going to hit a threshold to where you're not going to be able to stop the goodness. You mark it down. You won't be able to stop the goodness. Now, what a profound thought or statement in the state of West Virginia, where we've been dead last for 500 years. And the last thing I would say to you is just this. The one very thing that I didn't mention is just think. I was 10 minutes late getting here, and you know why? Because I ran over one of those crazy cones that are out there in the road. And I had to stop and go back and set it back up. You know, but they're all over the place. And there's jobs, and there's opportunity, and there's goodness way down the road, decades and decades to come. People on the outside today, you know what they're saying about West Virginia? They're not saying that we're the dingy, dark, backward, dead last state. They're saying, boy, we really missed something about that place. Not only is it beautiful, but it's strategically placed. It's got natural resources like crazy. It's got the greatest people. Their economy's booming. They can't even employ the people that the jobs that are there, and I would pray to God above that all the good West Virginians that left seeking opportunity come home. Come home. Because we need on the way here a man that had been the executive vice president of Appalachian Power called me about jobs that were pipeline jobs, and they said and they needed surveyors. They needed 50 of them. They said, we don't care if they can survey at all. We'll train them. We'll train every last one of them, and they'll have a skill if after we leave or whenever it may be. But just think about that. Think about it. There's so much goodness, we ought to be all up on top of the table doing the stupid dance. And so I would leave you with this. My good gracious, be happy. Be proud of Tim Armstead, Mitch Carmichael, all of you. Be proud of yourself. Don't let somebody try to push your neighbor down. Don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, things are good, and things can still get better, and we're going to make them better. So I thank you for letting me come. I'm going to run because you didn't feed me nothing. But I love you with all my soul, and I know you're doing great work, and again, God bless you in every way. Oh, last thing. Speaker Armstead just had a grandson, and his daughter, was in a lot of our prayers, and it was a little iffy going through and all that kind of stuff, and we congratulate him and everything. Everybody's happy and good, and I know what that's all about because Jill just went through, having our first grandchild, and he's a few months older than the speakers, but what a joy, what a joy. So God bless you. Thank you.